Don woke with a start. Something felt off. His limbs seemed too short, his pajamas excessively baggy. He stumbled to the bathroom, catching his reflection in the full-length mirror. Staring back at him was a toddler, no more than 3 years old, with a bewildered expression mirroring his own. He was currently naked since he'd left his oversized clothing behind. Panic surged through him. What in the world had happened? His voice, when he tried to speak, came out as a squeaky voice. He heard a soft giggle from the doorway. His girlfriend Emily leaned against the frame, her eyes sparkling with amusement. "Well, well, well," she chuckled. "Look who decided to revisit his childhood." Don glared at her, or at least he attempted to. His face, still chubby with baby fat, just made him look cross. He tried again to speak, but all that came out was a series of frustrated noises. Emily sauntered over, scooping him up with surprising strength. "Don't worry, sweetie," she cooed, her voice dripping with playful sarcasm. "I'll take care of you." Don wriggled in her grasp, his mind racing. Was this a dream, a prank? Emily rarely played practical jokes, and this was far too elaborate, even for her. Big question on his mind was how. Magic? Some new age youth drug? He caught her eye, a mischievous glint in their depths. And for the first time, a terrifying thought crossed his mind. This wasn't a joke, this was real, and somehow Emily was involved. "You did this, didn't you?" Don's accusation came out as a frustrated babble of words, but Emily understood. Her laughter subsided, replaced with a sheepish grin. "Maybe," she teased, her fingers tickling his stomach, making him erupt into a fit of giggles despite himself. "Don't be mad, honey, it's just for the weekend. Consider it a little experiment." Don glared at her again, the absurdity of the situation sinking in. He was a toddler at the mercy of his girlfriend's whims. Emily, however, seemed to find his predicament endlessly amusing. She treated him like a giant doll, dressing him in slightly oversized clothes for a small boy, making him giggle with silly faces, and cooing at him in a baby voice that set his teeth on edge. "Don't you think it's funny?" she asked, holding up a mirror to his face. He scowled back at his reflection, his chubby cheeks and wide, innocent eyes, a stark contrast to the 30-year-old man trapped inside. "You're so adorable," Emily squealed, planting a kiss on his forehead. He tried to resist, but the truth was, a part of him was starting to find this whole thing rather amusing. He couldn't deny the strange sense of freedom that came with being a toddler again. No work, no bills to pay, no responsibilities weighing him down. Just the simple pleasures of a carefree existence. He could eat when he was hungry, sleep when he was tired, and spend his days playing. As the initial shock wore off, Don began to warm up to his new reality. It was impossible to stay annoyed with Emily for long, especially when she was clearly having the time of her life. He found himself giggling at her antics, his earlier frustration fading into a strange sense of acceptance. After all, what choice did he have? He was a toddler now, dependent on Emily for everything. She fed him, changed his diapers, much to his initial mortification, which soon gave way to resignation, and even gave him a bath in a giant plastic tub, much to his amusement. Emily now nude herself so not to get her own clothes wet. "See," Emily said, splashing him playfully. "Isn't this fun?" He couldn't help but laugh. The warm water and the mountain of bubbles surrounding him a sensory delight. It was ridiculous, absurd, and yet strangely liberating. For the first time that day, Don felt a genuine smile spread across his face. He was a toddler, yes, but he was a toddler with the memories and experiences of an adult. And perhaps, just perhaps, this bizarre situation could be fun.